Janki, the slide is not there.
Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have a question from Lakshman. Hanumanji says, when I identify myself with the body, I am God's servant. When I identify as the Jiva, I'm part of God. And as Atman, I'm one with God. If an ordinary human being understands and realizes the same truth, can we also say that the person is God? Yes, we can say the person is God. But the only problem in your statement is if an ordinary human being understands and realizes the same truth, can we say that person is God? Even if he doesn't understand and doesn't realize, he's still God. The only difference is now he knows it. So we will look upon him as a saint, as a self realized soul. But even the world's most stupid person, most idiotic being, is also God. Or does one with God have a deeper meaning in Vedanta? There is nothing deeper than this. This is it. That every single being is God, whether he knows it or not. When you see a cockroach, that is God. You see a mosquito, it is God. When you sweat the mosquito, and you have to sometimes, otherwise you will get malaria. Then you have to say what we say before meals. Brahmarpanam. Brahman is the arpanam. Brahmarpanam. Brahmahavi. The act of offering arpan karna is Brahman. What you are offering is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. So the one who kills and the one who is killing is Brahman. The act of killing is Brahman. The act of protecting is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Just like everything in the dream is the waker's mind. Just like every piece of jewelry is gold. So there is nothing apart from Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Your good deeds, your bad deeds, everything is Brahman.
Sister confused. Someone is a author Purusha, so he said that, but I am clear. Okay.
Okay, anyone else has any other question? So if you follow the line of thought.
Janki,
Yes.
Mili.
Yeah, go ahead.
Janki ji, in last class we discussed God is within me is a qualified monoism. Can you why on what ground? Can you explain?
Because God is within me means it's a sort of can be Dvaita also. Some Dvaitas also say that. But the thing is, there is some kind of division. There's some kind of difference between God and me. God is within me. God is a part of me. Atman will become part of Paramatma, or Atman is a part of Paramatma. All of these show some difference. in Advaita, it is equal to. Equal to. There is no difference. Atman is Brahman. No difference. The others say something, they give some sort of difference, but we do not accept it. We say that
So-
if
Okay, carry on.
No, go ahead, you want to say something?
No, so outrightly we cannot say it's qualified monoism.
You can say it's qualified monoism. Some Dvaitas also say that. But largely, the concept of Atman is part of Paramatma is largely a portion, like in the Gita also says, a portion of my eternal self. So they take it as ki actually there's a separation. But how can there be a separation? Because if Brahman is all pervading, what is part? How do you make a part of an all pervading thing? How can you pull it apart? Pull it apart where?
Exactly. Thank you.
So this belief of it being a part, like either a part, like separate, or a part, as in a small piece of, both we don't accept. We say means Shankara says, equal to, no difference. So if we were to follow the line of thought in this subsection, now that we have coming to the end of Vedanta Treatise, this is our last chapter. So you will have to think what you want to study next. Please let us know whatever you would like to study next. Okay, so section 3 was the essence of Vedanta. We began with use and abuse of religion. I'm just looking at the contents. When you look at the contents, you will see it too. We began with the use and abuse of religion, meaning we reformulated what we already know, which is what is religion for, the purpose of religion, the purpose of any religious activity, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, dan, tapas, shraddha, whatever word you want to use. The purpose of any one of these is only to realize the self. Why do you go on a pilgrimage? To realize the self. Why do you do meditation? To realize the self. Why do you do dhanam? To realize the self. Every aspect of it is for self realization and self realization alone. There is no other goal over here. I mean, you can make it relative by saying self development, but what is self development? Eventually, self development is just self realization. What happened, Mahesh? Why have you put this here? Oh, okay. You want to show us the contents. Okay. No, then you have to show Acha, section 3. So, what is use and abuse of religion in Vedanta treatise? So, first one was use and abuse. If you use it for self-realization, you're using religion. If you use it for something else, anything else, to get a job, to get money, to find emotional solace, to read the scriptures, anything other than self-realization, this is abuse of religion. You're doing yoga for your health. You're doing your bhoga for your enjoyment. This is apart from religion. So, when you do the right thing for the right reason, you undertake the spiritual paths for the sake of self realization, this is use. Everything else is abuse of religion. Now, then we came to the next chapter, which was the law of causation. So, what is going to happen? What is going to happen in this world is exactly based on what you have done. Because what you have done is like the bullet has left the gun. Now, wherever that barrel was aimed, it's going to reach there. You can't do anything about that because if it's done. So whatever you are enjoying, whatever you have, whatever your current status, it is all the result of what you have done. There is no exception to this rule. There is no other factor playing, only what you have done. Now, what will happen hereafter? Again, it will happen based on what you have done. What you do today will determine what will happen tomorrow. So, how is it possible that you will do today something different from what you did yesterday? If you already have that stream flowing, you are predetermined to do that today also. So, Vedanta at this stage introduces the concept of Purushartha, which says that you get a choice. In spite of having that propulsion from the past, you still have a choice. You can be a negative person. You can be a person interested in so many things. You can be interested in all the stuff of the world. But today, if you decide, I am going to dedicate myself to Vedanta, then your life in the future will be in that manner. Or you can say, I want to do whatever I did in the past, in which case your life in the future will be in that manner. So that's what we studied in the law of causation. Then we came to the theory of creation itself. How is this world created for us? It is created by our presence and the existence of this world. These two come out together. Just as in the dreamer and the dream world come about together. So as long as you are there, the world is there. Many people misunderstand this to be idealism. It is not idealism, because idealism says, what is the difference? That there is nothing there. Your mind alone is creating the world. Realists say, no, the world is there. Vedanta says, the world is there, your mind is there. This combination in the presence of Brahman creates the world. That's how your world comes about. Then what is this world? And you in the world, because remember, they're both together. He says all of this is Maya. Maya means not that. Ma, not. Ya, that. Maya, not that. What is the world you're seeing? It's not that. It is Brahman. What is this individual you're seeing? It is not that. It is Brahman. What is your job in life is to get beyond Maya and see what is there. What is there? What is there is only the supreme reality. So we studied about supreme reality last time. Now, if only supreme reality is there, then what am I in that supreme reality? Am I a servant? Am I a part? What am I? He says, that thou art. That supreme reality you are. That is why we've come to the last chapter now, where he tells us, you are not all this stuff, not the happenings of the world, not the body, mind, intellect, not your actions, perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. You've got nothing to do with this. You are that supreme reality. Tattvamasi, that thou art. When you realize it, you say, Soham. You always say Soham, no? I am that. Saha aham. He am I. Soham. So many people use this term. Nowadays, I find it becoming quite popular. Lots of people have this. And then in Chidananda Rupa, remember Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Shiva. Shiva means auspicious. What is auspicious? The self. The only auspicious thing is the self. So, I am that. So, there is a there is a sort of explanation from the teacher, from the education to the realization. Education says Tattvamasi, that thou art. Realization says Soham, Shivoham, Aham Brahmasmi. All of them saying the same general idea. Okay, so now it's come to the end of your education in terms of Vedanta. So that what will it be? Tattvamasi, that thou art. It's what your teacher tells you. What is the real end of your education is when you say Aham Brahmasmi. You're not repeating the words of the teacher, but that is your experience. Right, so let's start reading the chapter. Who will read the first paragraph?
I'll read gently.
Please.
That thou art. The four aphorisms. The Vedas have been distinguished as the foremost spiritual texts from time immemorial. They contain the perennial philosophy of Vedanta, which has been indoctrinated in ancient India through four aphorisms known as Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas literally means great statements, supreme declarations. They appear one in each of the four Vedas as follows. Pragnanam Brahma, which means Brahman is consciousness. Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. Ayam Atma Brahma, this self is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Should I read further or just summarize this?
Oh, yeah, summarize this.
Yeah, so this chapter begins with saying that how Vedas have been the foremost spiritual texts from time immemorial. And they are explained through four aphorisms which are known as Mahavakyas, which appear in each of the four Vedas. They are Pragnanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma, and Aham Brahmasmi.
Yes, very good. So, four Vedas giving four Vakyas. The four Vakyas play four different parts in our life. The first Vakya is what a student generally hears in society. You see, we had a very spiritual society. So, in fact, even today we have a spiritual society. Everybody in this country has spiritual views. Have you ever realized that your taxi driver will give you a lecture on spirituality? He will have a view on whether Dvaita is correct or Advaita is correct. He may not use that terminology, but he will say something. Everybody in this country has a view. So while you live in this society, you will hear about God. What is it that you used to hear about God? You used to hear Prajnana Brahman. Everybody knew this, that consciousness is God. This was common in society. Now, everybody said that, everybody thought that. And so the student, a person with mumukshatva, hears it and thinks, what on earth does that mean? What do you mean consciousness is Brahman? What do you mean consciousness is God? What is God? Who says there's God? This person may even become an atheist. How can you say a person with mumukshatva becomes an atheist? Can you tell me why? May become, not becomes, may become. Why would a person with mumukshatva become an atheist? How can you say this? Because everybody has a view on God. The person with mumukshatva is the one who engages with that view. See, there are things floating around everywhere. What thing are you engaging with? If you start thinking, no, this is not correct, how can it be correct that there's a God up there who will grant your wishes and give you whatever you want, and you have to pay him with praises? You praise him all the time, he keeps giving you all the time. And no, this doesn't sound right. The person is engaging with it. There are many devout people who have no mumukshatva. They have heard there is God, they say, okay, there is God, and they will follow whatever rituals that have been laid out for them. They are not engaging with the question. You might find very, excuse me, very interesting in life that very devout people have less interest in God than people who are rejecting the concept. Because the people rejecting the concept are engaging with the concept. They're questioning it, they're asking it, they're wondering about it, they're thinking about it. It is taking up their mental space. And then, of course, they are deciding whatever they are deciding. So, what happens when you hear such ideas in society, anywhere? It opens up a curiosity within you. And if you had deep mokshatva at that time, where would you go? Today, you would put on Instagram and check if there are any reels on God. I wonder if we do a search on Instagram on God, what will come up? That's what you do, right? You look up. But there was no Instagram 5,000 years ago. What would they do? They have heard somewhere in the Himalayas, people know about this. You also heard, right? That in the Himalayas, these great sages live and all. This has been coming down in our country from time immemorial. So these people would say, okay, then let me go to the Himalayas. Let me find out who is this person who knows about it. I will ask that person. And they would set out from their home in search of a person who might explain to them this idea about God. What is God? Who is God? What is Prajnana Brahman? What is consciousness as Brahman? And they would, God knows, imagine going to the Himalayas to find somebody. If you don't understand what that means, go try. Go over there and say, let me find a Mahatma. Now, how can you find a Mahatma? So that person would probably wander around looking. Nobody there. It's Sunsan. You can't ask for directions. There's no GPS telling you Mahatma here. Like how you can find a hotel. Can you see, and you can put sari shops near me. Can you put gods and Mahatmas near me? You can't. You can't put a GPS on that. So what will that person do? They'll hunt and hunt and hunt everywhere. Find somebody. And with such relief, such devotion, such reverence, he would find somebody with that tej on their face, something that told him this person would know. And he would fall at that person's feet and say, please tell me, what is God? Who is God? Do me this favor of answering me this question, who is God or what is God? To which the Mahatma, who would be sitting quietly by himself, maybe Ganga Kinare, maybe under a tree, maybe in the snows somewhere, maybe in a gufa somewhere, he would look at the young boy, see the reverence, the devotion, the mumukshatva, the need in the person to know that truth. He would take one look at him and say, ask me next year. And close his eyes. Now, what would that boy do? Imagine that. After so long, he found somebody. Now, this person is saying, ask me after some time. What would he do? He decides, well, where is he to go now? So he decides, with great difficulty, he found one person. Now, where will he find another? So he stays there. He serves the teacher. He brings firewood. You see, this is how this whole started. He brings firewood. He may find a coconut somewhere and bring it to him because a master has to eat. So he's serving the master. So if you don't serve the master, you are not going to learn anything. So the teacher is not, a good teacher doesn't want students. Because students are a big responsibility. If you take the responsibility of a student, you have to see it through for the rest of your life. Who wants this headache? So you don't want any students. So what happens? You say, chalo bhai, isko bhaga lo yahan se. At least that's what they used to do then. So they would put tremendous tests on the students. Okay, we don't want to waste our time. See, the teacher is highly invested in the student, full of love, full of care, full of concern. It is like bringing up a baby yourself. And the poor teacher has to do this over and over and over again. How many babies do you want to bring up? So the teacher says, "Arey bhago yahan se, mere paas mat aao." Means he doesn't say all that. In that time, teachers didn't say anything. They would say, "Ask me after some time." And he'd stay there and serve and serve and serve. And that was his entrance exam. That was the NEET equivalent of those days. Do you really want to know? Don't ask me unless you want to know. And he'd stay maybe a year, 2 years, anything. And then he'd ask his question again. Please tell me. And if the teacher was in a good mood that day, he would say to the child, Tattvamasi, that thou art. Finished. Year and semester, both over. No more explanations. That would come second sentence. From Prajnana Brahma, he would reach one more statement, Tattvamasi. Now he's heard this. Now he goes and reflects upon it. He thinks and thinks and thinks. And then he says, Ayam Atma Brahma, this Atman is Brahman. I'm trying to understand. I can't understand. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? For years and years and years, he may think. One day he gets it. Oh, he says, Aham Brahmasmi. That is how the fourth sentence comes. So the first sentence is a sentence of general knowledge. The second sentence is a teaching sentence. The teacher teaches you Tattvamasi. The third sentence is practice statement, where the student practices. Practices means he reflects, he thinks. Ayam Atma Brahma means what? Ayam Atma Brahma. Ayam Atma Brahma. This Atman is Brahman. How can this limited, stupid person be that all-powerful God? And slowly he begins to get it. If I say I am Brahman, means I am not the stupid person, means I am not this body. My existence is way beyond this body. Ayam Atma Brahma. Is it the emotions? No, my existence is beyond emotions. I can see my emotions, right? I can see me going happy. I can see me becoming unhappy. My emotions are not me because I can see them. I can see them as apart from me. So then what is it? It's that which sees. Is it the intellect? Ayam Atma Brahma. Is the intellect God? Is it all powerful? No, intellect cannot be all powerful. Intellect also makes mistakes. Intellect also changes. Intellect is not all knowing. No, there's no all knowing intellect in the surface of this earth. Then what does it mean? It means I'm beyond the intellect. That means I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. Ayam Atma Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. This Ayam means this Atma, this Atman is Brahman. He's practicing, he's thinking, he's cogitating, he's reflecting. At some point, he gets it. Then he says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Now, this is not a statement that has been told to him. This is a matter of his own experience. So, this is a Anubhava Vakya. Anupadesha Vakya is somebody is telling you. Anubhava Vakya means, I know it, this is my experience. So, these four statements traverse the spiritual path. That is why they're so famous, because they are at different levels. Otherwise, you'll say all four are saying the same thing. Why do you want four statements? Why don't you have one statement? There's no difference between the four statements. All it shows is different stages of the process. That's all they're showing. Otherwise, they mean exactly the same thing. I am Brahman or you are Brahman means exactly the same thing. Okay, so now who will read the next paragraph?
I will read, Janki.
Please.
The first aphorism, Pragyanam Brahman. Brahman is consciousness, appears in Aitreya Upanishad in Rig Veda. This aphorism,
Aitreya, say it properly.
Aitreya Upanishad in Rig Veda. This aphorism makes a general declaration that Brahman, the supreme reality, is consciousness, the one homogeneous consciousness that pervades everywhere, that which functions in macrocosm and microcosm, microcosm, the common substratum of the world and individual. If the consciousness pervading the world is likened to total space, then the consciousness in individual would be the space in a pot. But the space in a pot cannot be segregated from total space. The material of the pot cannot divide space. Space may be referred to as pot space, room space, open space, etc. All these spaces are one and same. The space as such is homogeneous, indivisible, called differently for convenient reference. Likewise, the consciousness is referred to differently, depending on its heterogeneous embodiments, though it remains homogeneous. The first aphorism pronounces its homogeneity. It is known as Lakshana Vakya, which means statement of definition. So here is saying consciousness pervades microcosm and macrocosm. And he has given example, space example. Space in the pot and space outside the spot is same. So likewise, heterogeneity is there. Heterogeneity is there within heterogeneity is there. Heterogeneity and homogeneous. No, what is saying?
Yes, homogeneous.
Homogeneous. So it appear different, but both are same. This is a message.
Very good. So, Prajnana Brahman, consciousness is Brahman. Consciousness within you, consciousness outside you, same consciousness. Just as pot space, room space, outside space, there's no division on space. So too, there is no division in pure consciousness. So what is Prajnana Brahma? It's a Lakshana Vakya. It is general knowledge. It is just like everybody knows this kind of thing. Everybody says it, knows, everybody knows, says it. It'll be told to you. Prajnana Brahma. Everything is Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. It's your Lakshana Vakya. Lakshan means wo Lakshan deta hai. It defines it for you. It tells it to you. Right? That's your first statement, which you know generally. Then please remember all of these are the same. Do not say, oh, there's some difference between them, because there is no difference between them. But they are just given at different points of your sadhana for you to use them differently. There's no difference in what they mean. The second aphorism is Tattvamasi. Who will read the next one? Please.
The second aphorism, that Tattvam Asi, that thou art, appears in Chandogya Upanishad in the Samaveda. It declares you are pure consciousness. That refers to the consciousness, the supreme reality, Brahman. Tvam, thou, to the innermost self, Atman, the core of your personality. Asi, art establishes the oneness of the all-pervading consciousness and yourself. Brahman and Atman are one and the same. The consciousness is like the ocean, the individual like a wave. The water in the wave and the ocean is the same. Beings would be waves with distinct individualities. The consciousness is in every being is the same all-pervading consciousness. Yourself is the infinite reality that thou art. This aphorism is in the form of an advice to a spiritual seeker. Hence, it is known as Upadesha Vakya, statement of advice. The second aphorism is an Upadesha Vakya, an advice to a spiritual seeker. It now establishes that the consciousness is you only, the Atman. Atman is our core of the personality, and Atman and Brahman are not different. It is compared to the waves in an ocean. Brahman is the ocean, and the waves are the Atman of different shapes and different qualities. But it is part of the ocean only.
Big wave, very good, Vyasi. The same. This is a Upadesha Vakya. What is a Upadesha Vakya? Somebody is giving you an Upadesh. The teacher is teaching you. What is the teacher teaching you? Tattvamasi. What is the teaching statement? An advice statement. Now, what does it mean? Exactly the same that the first one meant. But there's a slight flavoring difference. I mean, it's the same thing. You can interchange all of this. Just think about it. You see yourself as the wave. And the wave sees itself different from the ocean. But the wave is born in the ocean, lives in the ocean, and is going to die in the ocean. There is nothing in the ocean different from the wave. Only difference is Nama Rupa. There is some kind of imaginary Nama Rupa. And this Nama Rupa becomes so important to us that our entire identity is tied into this Nama Rupa. I look at myself, I say, oh, look, I'm bigger than that little wave there. Or I say, oh my God, look, I'm smaller than that big wave there. That wave is so beautiful, I am so ugly. That wave is so ugly, I am so beautiful. Look at me, I am strong, I am big. These are all piddly little fellows. I am so important, you're not important. But while this little wave has so many views about that Namarupa, that Namarupa comes and goes. That wave crashes back into the ocean. When it believed itself to be that Namarupa, it was the water of the ocean. When it crashes back, it's still the water of the ocean. There never was a time, says the Gita, that I was not, or you were not, or these hordes of armies were not. All these waves were always there. And there never will be a time when we are not. Then what is happening now? Just Namarupa. And that Namarupa has become so important to us that we compare it to other Nams and other Rups. And then we think we are so great or we are so little. Then all we need to say with reference to any other Namarupa is, you and I are one. There is no difference. She is Aishwarya Rai. Then let me enjoy her beauty because it is my beauty. He is Bill Gates. Then let me enjoy that wealth because I am Bill Gates. He is Einstein. Then let me enjoy that the wealth of knowledge of Einstein, for I am Einstein. What difference does it make? It's like the example they give. Your wealth is in this pocket or this pocket. What difference does it make? Somebody is is more beautiful than you, enjoy it because it is you. Somebody is richer than you, enjoy it, for it is you. It's like you saying, oh, how sad, it's in my left pocket, it's not in my right pocket. What are you talking? Enjoy it, for it is you. That is why Oliver Goldsmith says, I'm a lover of happy human faces. I'm happy in your happiness. I'm delighted that you're happy. I am excited just as much as you are. If somebody wins the Nobel Prize, you are as excited for him as if you have won it. Imagine that. To understand there is no difference between that little wave and this little wave. It is the same ocean. That is why as you grow spiritually, you're filled with universal affection. It is impossible for you to dislike somebody. Just impossible. How can you not like them? They are yourself. Even if your hand is wounded a little bit. Okay, now somebody has bitten me very badly and it's wounded, it's itching. Do I like this hand less because it is wounded and it is itching? No, in fact, I'll get greater care of it, right? I can ignore the rest of my body. This I will be putting something and taking care of it, whatever. So too in this world, something is wounded, something is negative, somebody has a flaw. You take care of it, you handle it, you protect it. Protect it means you protect the person from their own flaw. Sometimes that means being very strict with them and shouting at them. But why are you doing this? Because you're protecting them. Yeah, sometimes this thing is there, it's hurting. If I have to put something on it, probably hurt me more. But I'll put that thing. Why? Because I'm taking care of it. So once you're able to see this, that this Nama Rupa doesn't count. You and I are one. No matter how you behave, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, my affection for you will never change because you are myself. When you behave badly, do you care for yourself any less? Then if somebody else behaves badly, why are you caring any less? It's the same. It's a different naam, it's a different roop, it's a different form, it's a different color. But it's the same thing. The small wave, the big wave is the same thing. Why can't the small wave look at the big wave and say, see how big I have grown? Why can't the big wave look at the small wave and say, how small, how cute? That you with music and I with light might beautify and shine the night. Always you understand everything as yourself. So big wave and small wave is just
Nama Rupa,
the ocean.
water.
Water. The same water. What are we making a distinction for? You're making a distinction in things that no distinction is required. You are not making a distinction in things where that distinction is required. What to do? Viveka should be to know what is same and what is different. Dharma and kartavya is the same. Some things are same, some things are different. You and I are same. The differences in our body, mind, and intellect don't count. What do they count? Suppose there are bubbles on the ocean's surface. One is a big bubble, one is a small bubble. And they say, oh, I'm a big bubble, I'm a small bubble. They're fighting. They're hardly going to last for 10 seconds. What are you fighting for? All of us are going to be here 100 years. How much will it be? 100 years? 110 years? By the time Vidushi grows old, maybe human beings have become so capable and now they live 150 years. Maybe. But 150 years? This whole thing here has been here for 4.32 billion years. What is your stupid 100 and 150 years? And you use that silly small time, grumbling, complaining, fighting, seeing differences where there aren't any, instead of seeing an overwhelming mass of homogeneity. You become incapable of seeing differences. You become incapable of disliking anyone. How can you? When you lose the capacity to dislike, you are becoming a spiritual person. You lose the capacity to be hurt by other people. You are becoming a spiritual person. Then, if your teeth bite your tongue, do you dislike your teeth? No matter how much that tongue is hurting, you still like your teeth. You like your teeth means will you go to the dentist and say, okay, ab isko nikalo, it's horrible. You never do that. Always the same. That's what he's talking about. Everything is one, a homogeneous mass of oneness. This is what your teacher teaches you. Tattvamasi says this. Then you have to go and practice. So what are you going to practice? Who will read the next? Vidushi, will you read the next one?
The third aphorism, I am Atma Brahma, this self is Brahman, is in the Mandukya Upanishad in the Atharvana Veda. I am means this, Atma is your supreme self within. The aphorism states that the Atman, self in you, is Brahman pervading everyone. If Brahman is likened to a conflagration, then an individual would be a spark arising from it. Conflagration is fire, so is spark. Both are the element fire. Spark is conflagration. So are you the supreme consciousness. Yourself, Atman, is Brahman. Remember this truth at all times. Repeat it to yourself. Entertain this thought until you realize yourself to be Brahman. Hence, this aphorism is known as Abhyasa Vakya, statement of practice. So the third aphorism, I am Atma Brahma, which translates to this Atman is Brahman, says that yourself is Brahman. It is to be remembered and repeated to oneself at all times till one realizes.
Not yourself, this self. Go ahead, just say this self, not yourself.
This self.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You can continue.
I said that this statement has to be repeated and remembered by this self at all times till one realizes.
Very good. It's your Abhyasa Vakya. Keep on thinking. When you go for a walk, jog in the morning, Aham Atma Brahma. When you're going for a walk, Aham Atma Brahma. When you're getting irritated with somebody, Aham Atma Brahma. Is this Brahman? Is this anger Brahman? Is this sorrow Brahman? Aham Atma Brahma. Whatever happens, you keep on saying to yourself, Aham Atma Brahma. This Atman is Brahman. You get tempted by one more gulab jamun, you say, I am Atma Brahma. All the time, it's like there, like a shruti in your mind. I am Atma Brahma. What does this mean, for heaven's sake? It's Abhyasa Vakya. And then you realize, I'm not making progress trying to understand this statement. What do I need to do? I am too full of desires to be able to understand this. So I'm going to do karma from now. 10 years I'm going to do karma until I'm purified by that karma. And then I will know I am Atma Brahma. Then after 10 years of doing karma, you find you have not yet understood I am Atma Brahma. Then you say, okay, now my mind is not pure. I will do bhakti for 10 years. Then I will find out I am the Atman. And then you do bhakti for 10 years. Now, I'm just making up these figures, okay? You don't please say, okay, from now on 10 years I'm doing karma. You have a methodology. What according to you is your methodology to find out? Because you say, I am Atma Brahma, I am Atma Brahma. Saturday you do, I am Atma Brahma. By Wednesday, I am Atma and Brahma are all in the bin. So don't. Carefully plan and program your spiritual path. As long as there are these gross desires clinging onto us, how on earth can we say, I am Atma Brahma? How is this even possible? You can't say it. A person is interfering with your desires. How do you recognize him to be the same as you? You're too angry to notice that he's the same as you. That level of desires has to subside. Then you see the possibility of this. Otherwise, you cannot see the possibility. You say, he is not me, he's horrible. But when the desires subside and nobody is bothering you anymore, then you begin to see, why did I see a difference at all? What was the difference? As Shylock says in Merchant of Venice, when you cut us, do we not bleed? When we hurt us, do we not cry? Then what difference are you talking about? Why are you up there and why am I down here? Why are you looking down on us? Every single one of us. You cut anybody, does it not bleed? Every one of us, if we have our desire and that desire is interrupted, are we not hurt? Are we not angry? Is this not happening to everybody? If any one of us eats too much, we put on weight. If any one of us starves, we lose weight. Is this not true? Every one of us is born so much, very tiny. Then we expand in size. Towards the end, again we contract in size. All of us get hair. The hair changes color. The hair falls off. Is this not happening to everybody? Isn't every teenager getting bothered with every pimple that comes on his or her face? Every single teenager. I got a pimple, I got a pimple, I got a... Okay, when you grow up, you say, okay, so what? But when you were in that thing, you say, oh my God, how can I go to this party? I got a pimple on my face. Day after tomorrow is the party, and today I got a pimple. How will I go? I can't go. I'm going to cancel. And then sobbing and weeping. What are you doing? Anybody who is a grown up looks, they say, pagal hai. And yet, when you were there, you also did the same thing. How much do you remember teenage years? How much you reacted to everything that happened? So many people, they don't go here, they don't go there. Why? Because their hair is not washed or whatever, the hair is not looking good today according to them. Oh, it's not getting as straight as I wanted to get or as curly as I wanted to get, or some teenage problems are difficult for adults to understand. They have to remember we were also there at some point. What are you making a fuss about? And yet at that time, imagine the agony the teenager goes through. And somebody in school or college did not speak nicely or said something bad, pray, how that hurt, what was the crying and the weeping and the sobbing. And today you can look back on it and say, wow, I was really mad. Isn't it? Did we not all do this? As children, did we not all have a favorite toy? And if anybody touched that favorite toy, did we not throw a massive fuss? They all did the same thing. So where are you seeing the difference? All of us are behaving in the same idiotic manner. I'm an idiot, you're an idiot. That's one way of looking at it. Or I am Brahma, you're Brahma. That's another way of looking at it. End result is we're both in the same sort of boat. Isn't it? So when you understand the homogeneity, you can see the homogeneity. Everybody is suffering the same nonsense. Every single person will get attached to something or the other. And then you cannot speak to that person because now they are attached to that thing. Isn't it? Then what is the difference? What differences are we seeing? Every mother will believe their child, Bapre, best. From time immemorial, from the time the first Eve got the first child, and she looked at her child and said, Arey, wah, look at this. Kya mujhe, I've got the prince of the seven worlds till today. Same thing. Every mother has gone through the same emotion. Every wife has told her husband, you don't care. From time immemorial, it's coming down. From time immemorial, husbands have been saying, how much you nag, how much you nag, how much you buy, how much you're purchasing. From time immemorial. Same thing. What is that? Ghar ghar ki kahani. So where are you seeing the difference? When you begin to realize that there is way more similarity than there are differences, you are beginning to practice the concept of
oneness.
Yeah.
say properly. In context, Baba, what are we talking about? Don't get lost. You're beginning to practice the concept of
I am Atma.
very good. Don't be so hesitant, Elsie. I am Atma Brahman. This Atman is Brahman. That means I am beyond merely this body, mind, intellect that I am perceiving. There is something else here. I am not this one block of individuality as I understand myself. There is something else. Right? So I hope you all will remember these four aphorisms. What was the first aphorism?
Prajnanam.
Brahman is consciousness.
Brahman is consciousness. What is the second aphorism?
Tvamasi.
What is the third aphorism?
Self is Brahman.
And what is the fourth one? Anyone other than Milind and Vidushi.
Aham
The fourth
Brahma.
Huh?
I am Brahma. Aham Brahma.
I am that. Four aphorisms. What is the difference between the four aphorisms?
There is no difference.
They're the same.
They are the same. But one difference there is. What is the difference?
The stage.
Sorry?
The stage they given to receive.
The stage at given. What are you using these for? The first one is general. Second one is Upadesha Vakya. First is Lakshana Vakya, Upadesha Vakya, and Abhyasa Vakya. And we will do Anubhava Vakya next time. But this you have to get that all four are the same. There's no difference in this. They're all the same. They're only used differently. They mean exactly the same thing, but they're used differently. First one is general information. Second one is Upadesha. It is the instruction of the teacher, the advice of the teacher. The third one is the practice of the student. And the fourth one is the accomplishment of the student, the recognition of the student, the realization, the anubhuti of the student. Okay? So,
Janki ji,
yeah.
the The third statement, this self is Brahman, in
Mhm.
terms of this monoism or dualism, what is that? We can say it's a monoism, third statement.
No, we don't say it like this. Is all for Advaita only.
It's, coming under Advaita only.
Only thing is, in the one interesting thing over here is what we are using for Advaita, spark and conflagration, is what the qualified monoists use to explain qualified monoism. It's very interesting. See, they are all Astika philosophies. Astika philosophies means they take the authority of the Vedas. Now it's very interesting that the statements they quote to prove their philosophy, all of them use the same statement. Advaitins are also saying conflagration and spark. Qualified monoism also says conflagration and spark. And dualists also say conflagration. Same example. The same quotation from the Vedas that everybody is quoting.
Basis same.
Basically means the textbook that they are referring to, because otherwise there won't be Astika philosophies, right? They have to accept authority of the Vedas. So they're using statements from the Vedas, from Vedanta, to establish that, whatever their philosophy is. That's why they are Astika philosophies. Now, Buddhists will not use this. Jains will not use it. Charvaka will not use it because they're Nastika philosophies. But this particular example is very interesting because it's used specifically to prove qualified monoism. Okay, so that's it for today. We will continue next time.
Hare Om Janaki ji.
Hari
Hare Om Janaki ji.
Hari Om Janki ji. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hare Om.